Sziasztok, kellemes csütörtök estét mindenkinek. Ó, pont itt a versem, ho-ho. Olyan cukik, hogy még mindig bent hagyják. Na, szóval az idei utolsó Is stream következik most, illetve így az idei utolsó streamfordítós. Ugye ezt múlt héten tartották volna eredetileg, csak aztán csütörtök reggel, csütörtökön tartották volna, illetve pénteken, bocsánat, nem, pénteken lett volna, múlt pénteken, aztán pénteken reggel, vagy csütörtök este már nem is tudom, bejelentették, hogy egy hetet csúsztatnak mára, mert hogy nem készültek el valamivel, amit be szeretnének jelenteni. Ó, és azóta mindenki így találgatja, hogy vajon ez mi lehet. Voltak tippek arra, hogy Unreal Engine 5-re váltanak, vagy esetleg bejelentik az új lead game designert, vagy orkokról mutogatnak valamit, vagy spot tesztek lesznek januárban, de igazából senki nem tudja. Úgyhogy 2 perc, 40 másodperc múlva kiderül, hogy mit akarnak mutatni. Úgyhogy érdekes lesz a stream. Így elvileg most nem csak idézőjelben, csak a szokásos skineket, meg konceptártokat, meg mount videókat, meg kérdéseket látjuk, halljuk majd, hanem ezt a bejelentést is elvileg. Bármi is legyen az. Igazából az Unreal Engine 5-nek adtam volna egy szavazatot, de aztán itt Szóló nemrég írta, ami végül is valós, hogy ha átváltanak arra, akkor nem tudják azt tartani, hogy a megjelenéstől számított 5 éves gépeken is simán fut a játék. Ráadásul most is jól néz ki a dolog, szóval meg ugye a fotorealisztikus dolog az nem igazán működik MMO-kban, sosem. Szóval ezt lehet, hogy ki lehet húzni. A lead game designet pedig hát ahhoz minek kellett volna egy hetet várni. Lehet, hogy azt is kihúzhatjuk. Viszont az orkokat még nem tudom, hogy mennyire nagy bejelentés, főleg amikor már nyáron mondta, hogy évvégén vártunk valamit az orkokról talán. Szóval akkor meg mi marad? Spot tesztek januárban esetleg. De ahhoz is miért kellene egy hetet várni? Aztán még karakterkreáló videó esetleg. Vagy ilyen alapszintű karakterkreáló, bár az alapszintű karakterkreálót nem hiszem, hogy érdemes lenne kiadni. Majd amikor teljesen kész van, akkor szerintem inkább. Így van pár lehetőség, aztán meglátjuk, hogy melyik jön be. 5,5 perc múlva nagyjából. Elkezdik, ha pontosan kezdenek. Addig is nézhetjük a csodás Fan Friday-es alkotásokat. Az a plancél, annyira jó. Tök tetszik. A nyuszi mount. Óriás nyúl. Ez mi? Ezt még nem is láttam. Legény tang. Ó, a teknős. Sütik. Hát ilyet se láttam még. Ez meg egy láda, valaki megcsinálta egy élőben elvileg. Baromi jó. Na, szóval ez a sok lehetőség közül lehet, hogy egyik se jön be, amit még tippeltünk. Lehet, hogy valamelyik bejön. De igazából elég jól sikerült titokban tartaniuk, bármi is legyen az, mert én nem nagyon láttam líkeket vagy ilyesmit. Lehet, hogy csak elkerült a figyelm. Ó, még egy képregény. Jók ezek a képregények. Jó, de cuki ez is. Olyan, mint a két feje lenne, nem? Ketté vágva. Jaj. Ez is olyan jól néz ki ez a karakterlap. Hú. Az almot elfogadnám a rangeremnek. Nem rossz, nem rossz. A csigusz! Cuki csigusz. Itt közben írják alul, amit elmondtam ugye a skines stream alatt, hogy január 12-ig lesznek a mostani skinek. Tehát akinek tetszik ez a téli téma, az január 12-ig dönthet úgy, hogy megveszi valamelyiket. Vagy minden. Az is jó. Ez is jól néz ki ez a Főnix. Se néz ki rosszul. Erre még nem jöttem rá, hogy mikor ez lenni, ez valami játék, nem? Vagy? Megint itt a versem, juhú! Gondolom megint Steven lesz meg Margaret. Hát ha más is lesz, akkor meglepi lesz. Én meg kíváncsiak, hogy honnan lesznek a stúdióból, bár a Steven valószínűleg a stúdióból lesz megint. Mint múltkor, meg talán előtte is már onnan volt. Vérnyuszi. Másodperc. Kíváncsi vagyok, hogy a bejelentéssel kezdik-e, vagy először ilyen szokásos ilyen update-ek, meg stb. Utána, hát valószínűleg az elején kicsit felvezetik, aztán utána szerintem, de majd meglátjuk. Sok fogas madár. Na. Ó, pontosan kezdenek. Ó, micsoda izé. Tök jó. Téliesített. Téliesített stream intro.
Hello, everyone.
Hát hello.
Welcome to our glorious Ashes of Creation December development update. We hope that you have all been having a wonderful December, and we're excited. We've got a lot of cool things to showcase.
Nem, otthon van Steve.
First and foremost, obviously, welcome to our creative director, Stephen Sharif, as per usual.
Mit van rajta sár? Megint meg van fázva.
Excited to be here.
Vagy mi?
Oh yeah, John never goes light on Christmas. We now have 4 Christmas trees in the house.
Didn't you have it already set up before Thanksgiving even happened?
Yes, technically, actually, I believe the first Christmas tree went up on Halloween. So
yeah, he was
hello.
and we watched
De viszont akkor eldőlt, hogy ez nem zöld háttér, hanem
so
Ez a saját háza, mert ugye fel van díszítve meg minden. Vagy hát
Brian,
lehet,
you're
hogy felvett egy
watching. I
videót
want that
otthon, de
kind
nem
of
tudom.
relationship. No,
Na mindegy, jól néz ki.
I'm just calling him out. I'm just kidding.
I love the stream overlay.
Ja, tök jó, mindent
this is your first time maybe
téliesítettek.
seeing it, so,
Yeah, I haven't seen this yet. This
Mike
looks
Ott a
did,
great.
páncél
Mike
is
did
itt
an
oldal.
amazing job. Mike is our graphics designer. If you've seen a
Jól
lot
néz
of
ki.
the graphics that we've done
Háttér
over
is
the past few
téliesített.
years, he is the
Hát
the
nagyon
one
kíváncsi leszek
that
erre a
does it all,
bejelentésre.
so amazing.
Yeah,
And we
great
also have our
job,
video
Mike.
editor too, who's been putting together a lot of cool stuff too. So it's been exciting. It's cool
Azt
to hear
az
too,
ezüst
Joe.
színű logót, azt meg kéne szerezni.
And of course, I'm Margaret Crone. I'm your community marketing lead. And today we have quite a few things, but I want to remind you, if you're watching this over on YouTube, to make sure to subscribe to us. There's a bunch of you who are watching, but you're not subscribed. You don't want to miss out on any cool videos because we might have some coming in the upcoming days.
Jó, lehet, hogy
And also following us on
jövő
all the
héten
places, all
lesz
of our
szorkos
social
videó.
channels. Get that out of the way.
I'm not
Körbe
used
videózták az
to
irodát,
wearing
de az
this.
miért nagy bejelentés
Is it
lenne?
real?
Egyébként jó lenne, ja, de
Margaret texted me this morning and
az
said,
nálam nem
"Where's
fedi a
something
nagy
festive?" And I said,
bejelentés.
I don't have anything festive.
Vagy fontos bejelentés
You have that. I tapped that.
kategóriát.
Sure.
Egyébként jó lenne, az biztos. De nincsenek ott, nem
I
is
think
ott
it's
van
actually at
Steven
the
sem,
office,
szóval nem
but
tudom.
I took that off right after.
Meg ugye
I
múltkor azt
To give
mondták,
some
hogy
context, it's a Magic
csak
the
jövőre
Gathering
lesz.
shirt that says
Yes, because you
it's a,
tapped
like,
mana.
Ja, hogy még nem
Yeah.
készültek el
It's
vele,
to
és
give
azért
context for people who
lehet.
don't know
Right.
what I'm going on
Lehetséges.
about.
Hát,
It's kind of like a ugly Christmas sweater, but
ha
honestly,
nem írtam volna
no
oda,
one's
hogy fontos
shirts were very
bejelentés,
ugly this year for
szerintem annyira
Christmas.
senki nem kapta
We
volna
had
fel a fejét.
something else, but you know.
Yeah, I didn't see anybody with an ugly sweater actually.
Yeah.
Was there
I don't
somebody
know.
with an ugly sweater? Oh, you know who had an ugly sweater? I think Alexi had an ugly sweater.
No, his was cool. It had like little pepes everywhere.
Oh yeah, well.
Ja,
I
volt
was
ilyen
voting, I would have
csúnya
voted his
karácsonyi
number
pulcsi.
one.
By the
versenyük.
way,
We
I
have-
hope everyone has their eggnog.
Oh, I don't have eggnog,
have
but I
eggnog?
have a cocoa mocha latte, like a hot cocoa
Az
with
meg ilyen
coffee.
tojáslikör, vagy mi annak a neve?
That eggnog. Oof, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I think John snuck some like whiskey in that or something.
Tojáslikör féleség. Az
You
eggnog
know,
az nem
usually you're
pontosan
drinking out of,
tojáslikör,
like a
nem?
wine glass with water in it. Emily's like, it's not wine, guys.
No,
It's just water.
De az, hogy bacon nem volt rajta, az egy...
Little gnomies.
little gnomes. I was
Nem
gonna say
hiszem, hogy
dwarves,
jelent
but yeah, I
bármit
guess
is.
they're
They are
gnomes,
not
right?
dwarves. Do
I
not
know.
start. Those are fighting words, sir.
Gnome dwarves.
Do not ever
They
call
could.
those
Have you ever
dwarves.
seen a half
will fight
gnome,
you.
half dwarf?
No.
Gondolod, hogy
No,
jelent
me
bármit is?
neither. We should think of that.
What? Okay, anyways, reeling it back in.
Too much
we have-
whiskey in the
we're
egg.
Lehet, hogy
very
annyit dolgozik,
excited,
nem ért rá.
for
Mhm.
today, obviously. It's kind of the end. This is our last day of work for the season, and then we're going
Ja,
to, like, a little
na
bit of
ezt az, amit
holiday
mondtam,
for
hogy
us at Intrepid.
most már nem dolgoznak
And then everyone's
ezután.
gonna come back refreshed and revived for the new year. We have a lot of cool
Pihennek,
stuff planned
aztán
for 2022.
januárban jönnek vissza.
Or yeah, 2022.
Hát mindig ezt csinálják, szóval így utolsó stream,
Have we time
karácsony előtti
traveled?
nap így elmennek,
It
és
will be,
akkor
it will
nem
be.
dolgoznak
We're
2
going.
nap között nyilván, meg ilyenek.
So
és akkor januárban jönnek
we're
vissza.
gonna go over some quick reminders, studio update, design update, environment art update, and character art update, and we'll also do a Q&A. We do have a lot of videos to show you today. So,
Sok videót fognak
So
mutatni.
many
Na,
Buckle in.
videos.
na.
Ooh.
So
The delay is going to be worth it, I think. So I know we delayed a week, but
I was like, Steven, this is the first
Azt
time.
mondja, tudom, hogy csúsztunk egy hetet, de szerintem megérte.
Making
was
me
really
nervous.
I was really trepidatious also. And I like texted Margaret the day before the stream, and I was like, Margaret, I mean, this is a really off chance, you know, it's likely not going to happen.
I
Maybe
was already
5%.
prepared for it when
I was
you
like,
said that.
it's 5% chance, but I just need to know, is it going to be okay if we push the stream a week?
And I was like, no.
Ja, előző lévő napon.
My staff is gone. We're off next
all,
week.
all my staff is gone
Szólt a
next week,
csajnak,
so
hogy
I'm alone.
ja,
But
mi,
I
hogyha
think
eltelik egy
actually
hétet.
here in chat assisting
Ah, very
from the
good.
airport. What a badass.
Mindenki már
He
hazament.
said he was bored, and I was like, all right, we'll just change your time off on the clock thing. But, so thank you, Vagnar, for working on chat moderation via the, I guess, airport.
Yep.
I don't know. But yeah, we have amazing staff. I think a bunch of them are actually watching this as a little watch party at the office too, you know, to
Yeah, I think
welcome you.
Benoit brought in some like chocolate croissants. I'm actually sad I'm not there, but I think there's a little watch party going on in the
Yeah.
office.
Hi guys. We love you.
Ja, a
Thank you for
stúdióban
all your hard
nézik
work.
őket, akik otthon.
So I'll just quickly go through our reminders and we'll get to it. So of course we had a web update on
Emlékeztető.
December 14th. If you didn't know, this may have caused some of you guys to have to put some information in when you log in the first time after this update. The reason for that is we've done a lot of
frissítették
SSO
a...
optimizations. We've also changed
Megoptimalizálták
contact
a
emails, so they're now
weboldalt.
unique per account. This is going to solve a lot of issues that we're having with people's accounts. I think there were some people who had multiple accounts and didn't
Bugfixek
realize
is
they
voltak.
did. So we're just trying to fix that and adjust things because from like legacy stuff that was going on prior.
Meg volt egy-két gond egyes fiókokkal, amiket ugye a másik oldalról hoztak még el. Úgyhogy azokat is javították elvileg. Igen, biztonsági dolgokat raktak.
They're not as obvious. And of course, we fixed a bunch of bugs that were coming up throughout the updates that we've been doing. And we have some future updates and future SSO changes that we're going to be doing in the upcoming months. So stay tuned for those. And we'll have probably a few other pages that are going to be updated, like the support page, the designs
Support oldalt is update-elik majd.
approved, and now those have been starting to be implemented, and we're testing and doing a lot of back-end testing on those for ourselves internally before we push it live. Similarly to what we did with this update for the changes. So if you encounter any issues, please contact us via either our support Twitter or you can put in a ticket yourself. And for most things, we will want you to put a ticket in because we'll have to like look at data.
Mit csinál azzal a sállal?
Playing around with a scarf. You don't like it around your neck, huh?
No, actually, I've never really been a scarf person.
Yeah. It is weird to wear like...
De sose szerette a sálakat, de akkor minek annál?
Yeah, that's true.
Azért, hogy téli hangulat.
Next thing we have here is we do
Ugye itt
have
vannak
our
az
cosmetic
aktuális
shopping over. This will be the Frozen festivities
téli
on January
skinek,
12th,
amiket múltkor
2022
megnéztünk.
at 11 a.m. So if you want to grab these, snag them up.
Január
Also, something that I
12-ig
noticed is
égetők.
that the costume is actually supposed to be blue, but it was red in the concept that we put out. So we're going to keep it red. But yeah, something that I noticed too late. We also have, I believe, new emotes. So
Új emotok a Discordon.
Discord, and I think they're actually doing
Talán
like a
berakhatnak
Discord
őket ide a
watch party
Twitchre
right
is,
now
mit
if you
tudom
want
mondja.
to chat with people at the same time as watching this. We have some cool new emotes available for you guys based on some recommendations. So if you have other emotes that you'd like to see, let us know and we'll see what we can do about them. You know, Fee and Nick are always ready to help you express your emotions and anger and love.
I like the rip ashes pile.
Yeah, you like that? I want an animated version of it where like the ashes
like trickles down.
Yeah. Of course, we have our latest dev discussion that went out, which is how do you feel about in-game holidays that line up time-wise with out-of-game holidays? Do you prefer that your game world has a matching celebrations, or would you prefer to keep your real-world holidays away from the keyboard? And you guys gave a lot of great feedback on this. We've been compiling data on it.
De a discussionban ugye az holiday eventekről.
Development team, and they'll be taking all of that into consideration. But if you still have ideas or thoughts, feel free to hop on over there and provide those to us. We always continue to keep those things updated. And our next one is going to be on griefing. I know this is a huge topic in the MMO space, so if you have thoughts, be prepared to bring them in our January's dev discussion because it's gonna be fire, I'm sure. And we also have kind of our last guild gatherings. We may bring these back again, but
Gildes topikukban a kémekről és a különböző gildes intrigákról volt szó.
How do you feel about spies and double agents?
Kettős ügynökök.
Spies and intriguey vibes. Definitely give us your feedback as much as possible over there, and we'll be wrapping up that shortly as well.
My guild always had ongoing joke that whenever we were in the middle of a raid or some type of like operation or whatever, and somebody would join the Discord or the TeamSpeak late, and they'd be like, "Hey guys, where are you at? Where am I porting to?" Everyone would be like, "Spy, espion," because whenever
Klánukban, aki későn jött Discordra, vagy TeamSpeakre, akkor még az volt.
have spies constantly in the guild.
Hova kell mennem? Hova
And
kell
even
mennem?
had
when-
spies
Mindenki mondta, hogy
in
kém
other
vagy, kém vagy.
guilds.
Okay.
This is karma.
But I had to. No, it wasn't karma. Mine was reactive. I had to have spies because they had spies.
Mindenkinek volt kémje.
But yeah, whenever we would show up for something and there would be a giant raid of people all prepared to fight us, we knew what was happening. So, yes.
And like the last thing that I have for reminders is that our content creator program applications are still open. We may be closing those in the future. So if you're a content creator, feel free to update
Még
that.
mindig fut
or
a
if you already
jelentkezés
have,
a
applied,
content
you can
creatori
also
programra.
edit if you have updated information that you want to share. And we'll keep
Lehet,
you
hogy majd
guys
valamikor
informed about
lezárják.
that whenever we close it
De még
and we
fut.
start going through those and inviting people in the future. So with that, I'm going to toss it over to you, Stephen, to go over studio updates.
Studio
Awesome.
update.
The studio update is amazing. Things have been going very well.
Minden nagyon jól
This
megy.
December, we've gotten a lot of stuff actually. It's interesting how as the year end kind of wraps up, everything kind of that you've been working on and has been kind of in pieces in like November and October, and you're like, oh, we're going to push this to January. It all just seems to like shore up and get in a nice spot and a good space and kind of a, close up, especially with
Az
what
eddigi
we've been
dolgok
working
kezdenek
on. You guys can
összeállni,
see,
amik itt
in
az
this
évben
video we're
csináltak.
going to show you here shortly.
Multiple
Mindjárt lesz
videos.
videó is, több
Multiple
videó.
videos. So it's been exciting to see the team hard at work,
Keményen
all of our
dolgoznak.
accomplishments that we've had this year.
Helyes, helyes.
2021 was a huge year. And really the motivation at the studio, the morale is very high, and that's always great
Erős a
to see.
motiváció, meg a
Whenever you're
morál
part of a team that has incredible
a
passion
cégnél.
and
Helyes,
you get to
helyes.
share that passion with
Everyone's so
everyone you work with.
sweet.
I know.
They were all sending messages to each other. And like
The
McPee's
congratulation.
Like, yeah, McPee's like,
Yeah.
we're not done with the game yet, guys.
Yeah, I know.
he's like, no congratulations yet.
Yeah,
It's so funny.
McPee, our lead programmer, he comes into one of our channels that we use to kind of focus on certain efforts or projects or whatever. He jumps into the channel after everyone's like, yeah, great job. I went in there.
Oh,
I'm
they're
like,
so
outstanding
sweet.
job. Everyone's like,
Everyone's
great
just so
job. They're all
sweet.
little emotes, and McPee pops in and is like, we're not done with the game yet. There's no need to congratulate each other now.
Valamit megcsinálnak, mindenki gratulál egymásnak, és akkor jön McPee, aki ugye a lead programmer, és akkor így mondja, hogy még nem vagyunk készen. Így nem gratuláljátok egymásnak.
Especially McPee, because he did a lot of hard work on one of those one of the things we're going to talk about today.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the studio update, things are going great. It's nice to be back in studio. Obviously, we're keeping an eye on COVID and what's been happening with that. We're taking precautions, but it's great to be part of a team where everyone's passionate about what they're doing. And this year has been a particularly illuminating one because of the accomplishments. Things are going good. On the hiring front, things are going well there. We've had a few new additions to the team that started in December. We have a few new that are coming up in January. We're going to be kicking off the new year with a pretty heavy focus on staffing up even more, significantly more.
Az új évet azt ilyen komoly felvételi programmal kezdni.
Making an MMO is a big thing, and making Ashes of Creation is a particularly big thing. So
a lot of systems.
You need a lot of hands on deck, and
az év elején több embert fognak
we already
felvenni.
have such talented devs, and we're getting a lot of a great talent pool in the applications that we receive, and interest from the industry and the community, and you guys all helping on that front. So big kudos
on that
to you
front,
guys.
the big question that everyone constantly asks us is in regards to a lead designer. I don't know
Lead
if you
game
can talk a
designer.
little bit about
Sure.
that.
Yeah,
I just
happy to
know
talk
that
about
that's a
that.
question that's going to be asked. That's not what
Absolutely.
we're announcing today on the stream.
No.
Me?
No, that's a great question. Obviously a lead designer is a very important aspect to the development. Right now I've been assuming a lot of those responsibilities, also delegating a lot of those responsibilities out to my senior designers who are
Azt mondta,
very
hogy majd
talented.
bejelentenek, vagy azt, hogy nem jelentenek be?
Is an awesome, fantastic team. We have incredible talent there. For me, I'm a very calculated individual. When I move forward on something, I don't need to rush it. I don't need to settle. So
Nem akarja elkapkodni.
for me,
Ez mondjuk,
it's a
ez mondjuk
process
jó,
that's
amikor
going to
már
take
több mint
time,
fél éve
and,
nincsen, de nem baj.
when I've
Végülis
landed
tényleg nem
on an
kapkodja el.
individual, either internally from a promotion standpoint or externally, candidates that we've gone through and met with and interviewed, several
Voltak
of them who have
jelöltek.
even flown out to the studio and gotten pretty far in the process. For me, this is Ashes is my baby, and I want to make sure that one of the very most important roles is held by an individual that I can trust with that baby. So it's going to be a process, but when we find someone that I'm comfortable with, you guys will be made aware.
Megtalálta
Took
az
him
emberét,
how many
akkor
years to get
szólnak.
me
Akkor mindent találtam.
to work for community management. So I think
See? But good thing we waited.
I don't know. It was a lot for us to come in and work on. But I
Hey,
think,
it was great.
yeah, I actually saw a comment in the chat that was like, "How is this community so lovely already?" And I was like, "Oh, our community is just amazing." And obviously, the community team and our volunteer mods have been wonderful at building up this community, and the content creators within our community. Like, we just can't express how thankful we are. We like constantly tell you guys this, but it's just awesome to have a community that's very invested, and
Absolutely.
when we give you answers, you spread those answers to other people, so we're not having to be in there 24/7 like answering stuff. We do try to be, and I think people notice that we are kind of in all of the spaces. We have a very small team, but we try our best to be on every social platform and interacting with you
A
guys on a daily
community
basis
teamjük nem
and
nagy,
answering your
de
questions. So
igyekszenek jelen lenni minden
we hope that you
közösségi
enjoy that.
platformon. Meg is csinálnak, szerintem.
Anything else on the studio update side?
No, I think that's it. I think people want to know why we delayed.
Azt mondja, az emberek
why
tudni
we
akarják, hogy miért
Yeah,
csúsztattunk egy hetet.
for an
Igen, igen.
announcement.
Yeah, let's talk about that and
Na,
move into
szóval?
the design segment.
Design segment.
Ooh. I've actually had a lot of fun.
My heart's racing.
Over... Don't say that. You're gonna make my heart
Heart
race.
always races before our live streams. I'm always so nervous, but
I
yeah.
know. I'm a little bit nervous too, but honestly, it's very exciting, and I'm really happy with the opportunity to share this with the community. It was really fun watching over this last week since we made the delay announcement for the stream. All the speculation, and I would say of that speculation,
There were quite a few people who got it.
Oh, absolutely. I was going to say about 40 or 50% of the conversation was about the correct thing.
So kudos to you guys.
Yeah, kudos to you.
Gals and pals.
So before we show it, I will talk a little bit about this. Obviously, the decision that we're going to reveal to you here shortly was something that we have been contemplating over since last year, actually. And it took a lot of evaluation, and it took a lot of...
Tavaly óta gondolkoztak rajta.
Well, actually, I'll explain it after the video.
We kind of had a strike team that was working on this too.
Csak nem a combatról döntötték el, hogy mi legyen vele.
We have some frequently asked questions too, so we'll answer those questions, and I'll also take note of any questions that you guys
Kérdésekre majd utána válaszolni.
if they're not part of that.
Hát, hogy eldöntötték, hogy csak taptargetás harc lesz, vagy csak aktív. Azt nem hiszem.
This video is about, I'm going to preface it just a little bit. This video is about 20 minutes long.
20 perces a videó.
Me running through a new environment, actually, that you guys haven't seen, a new area
egy új
of the
terület.
world. One particular point of interest and a very large tower or whatnot. I know everyone loves to see the new mounts, so I did make sure to include some of that in this video.
Lesznek új mountok is benne.
When I was watching the video and I saw it, I was like, Steven.
So really the announcement is about how we actually go about making mounts. So those of you guys who guessed how mounts are made, you really
Szóval arról szól a bejelentés, hogy hogyan csinálják a mountokat. De nem. Szóval még mondja, hogy nem.
Anyways.
I was like, Steven, I will beat you up. No, just kidding. No more mounts.
But yeah, we can cut to the video. We'll talk a lot about it
Hát kíváncsi
afterwards.
leszek.
And yeah,
We'll see you in about
Hát, hogy a harcról döntötték el, hogy csak taptalgatás lesz. Olyan jó az a téli logó. Na, 20 perces videó. Oh yeah! Szupi!
Welcome everyone to our final update video for the year of 2021.
Akkor mégis az Unreal Engine 5.
What a year it has been. We are ending it with quite a significant update. Yes,
Durva.
as you saw, we have officially begun the migration for Ashes of Creation to Unreal Engine 5.
Elkezdték átportolni játékot
Now, we've actually been evaluating the move to UE5
az Unreal Engine 5-re.
but our focus
Ami
was
durva.
really on getting the project ready for Alpha 1, so we didn't have much time to evaluate UE5. No!
Hoppá.
No! Bad deer.
Harci szarvas.
Not like this. Hold on, I'm sorry. Yes, okay, go.
Ami mondjuk logikus lépés, mert ugye, ha meg akarják egyszer lépni, akkor azt most kell, amikor még csinálják, nem utána, amikor már készen van. És előbb-utóbb meg kell lépniük, nyilván.
So as I was saying,
Hát attól függ, hogy állnak vele, nem tudom. Jó, nézzük meg a videót, azt meglátjuk. Mi lesz benne? Ez most már azzal van? Most már azzal van, nem? Azt mondja, egy fontos döntés volt, és miután vége lett az alfa egynek, alapítottak egy csapatot, hogy felmérték a veszélyeit, meg az előnyeit annak, hogyha átváltanak az Unreal Engine 5-re. És októberben elkezdték az átportolást. Most megmutatja a játékot Unreal Engine 5-ben. Hoho! Ja, ilyen havas terület még nem volt. Nem volt, nem volt. Hát, meglátjuk. Optimalizálásban jók. Szóval meglátjuk. Have to consider the type of effects that cold weather would have on my spells and my character's well-being. But here is nekem sincs olyanom, szóval. Unreal Engine 5. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool to be here. Meg ugye tudod, miben van nagy szerepe az ostromoknál, a sok szereplős ostromnál, meg ilyesmiknél. Azt nagyon jól kezeli az Unreal Engine, az ilyen nagy sok szereplős dolgokat. Aha. Mondjuk nem néz ki rosszul, nyilván. Bár egyelőre nekem akkor nem akkora a különbség, mint a, nem tudom. De jól néz ki. Ez a szamurájos páncél, hoppá, most nézem. Ó, oda néz. Átöltözött. Szia, Ájkosz, hello, hello. Szóval, most mellé kéne tenni egy másik képet a... Jó, nyilván ezt a területet még nem is láttuk. Az előző motorral, szóval, hogy érted a különbséget annyira... Ott azt melyik? Ez vagy az előző? Szamurájos. Some of the updates to combat. Obviously, there's been a significant amount harcot nem fogja mutatni.
Work that's being done from a prototyping perspective on a lot of the combat changes, and there will be opportunities for us to kind of show that.
Ez itt a pálya vége, vagy mi?
In the future, over the coming months. But I did want to show off. Oh, actually, speaking of changes.
Igen, jobban néz ki, csak jobban feltűnő lenne szerintem, hogyha mellette lenne egy másik kép az eredetivel. Samurájos, aha. Ja, az jó kis cucc. Azt, amilyen jól néz ki a jég. Uff. Brutál. Brutality. Most kiélhetik magukat a grafikus designerek. Ja, Tito. Jól néz ki a hó is. Még egy cicó. Bemegy a barlangba. Vannak nyomok már. Igaz, nagyon jól néz ki. Le tud térdelni. Igen, ott főleg ott a márványpadon. Ja, ott látszik a fények, a növények máshogy néznek ki.
Skylight actor, which historically was
Feltételező, hogy ilyen oda nézott a háttérben a hó, itt. Ez barom jó. Ahogy fújja be a szél a havat. A növények máshogy néztek ki, hogyha ezek ugyanolyan növények, mint voltak korábban, akkor ez máshogy néz ki. Hó, úristen, a hó az nagyon jó. Oh. Mindenki megtámadja? A havat nézd, hát ez barom jó. Új effektje van a Fireballnak. Új effektek. Az összes fényeffekt máshogy néz ki. Nézzek a pálcán is, hogy máshogy nem így, tehát nem volt ilyen. A corruption se így nézett ki, de durva. Megint ott a jég. Megint ott a hó. Ez a mászás is jó. Ez se volt benne. Ha jól emlékszem. Nem vagyja fel a virág. Ott hátul is nézd meg a havat, ott fújja a szél a hava. Úristen. Hát ez mondjuk brutálisan néz ki, de... Ott víz is van. Fény visszaverődik a felszínekről, és visszaverődik a barlangba. Valami lumin effektje az Unreal Engine 5-nek. Aki ért hozzá, az biztos tudja, hogy mi az. De hát látszik, hogy mások az effektek is. Meg a fények is. Ott is milyen jól néz ki az a corruption. Hát mikor részletességgel eddig se volt gond, de hát nyilván ez jobban néz ki.
Graphical fidelity that's in Alpha 1 and take a look at this video, and I think we'll have another little trailer that kind of goes through the area and the world, showing off a lot of this updated visual stuff. I mean,
majd lesz videó arról is, hogy mármint az ismét területekről talán, hogy most hogy néznek ki Unreal Engine 5-ben. Az mondjuk jó lesz, mert azok, ugye ezt a területet még nem láttuk, tehát nagy összehasonlítási alap nincsen. Azon kívül, hogy jól néz ki. Mi van ott fönn? Valami ott van. Ó, köd is milyen jó. Atya. Nekem a hó tetszik baromira, hogy befújja a szél. Potyognak le róla a kődarabok, lol. Semmi.
Somewhere over here. No, here's one other thing about the mansion, by the way. You can kind of jump and attach to the surface.
Oh.
So as you're like jumping off of a ledge or falling down the side of some crazy mountain, you can grasp onto something maybe.
Boom.
Nope.
Oh. Ott is van corruption.
See, I'm trying to record a video. Let's see here.
Oh.
Oh. Oh. That was masterful.
Nem leesett.
Masterful, I tell you. Just literally by the skin of my teeth. I mean, I love the lighting.
Hmm.
Let me through. Look at this. It is beautiful. Alright, go away. Oh my god, they're subterranean. No. Why are there so many plants in here? Where is this tower at?
Valami tornyot keres.
Whoa! Do they not have a leash range? There we go. Alright, I think we've made it past most of them. I'm supposed to get it. Alright,
Még több virág.
we made it through. I think I see... Nope.
Ó, micsoda fa van ott.
I think it's time, perhaps that we take flight.
Kinyírnak, vagy nem? Ó, kis sárkányka. Ó, ez az őszi
That's
sárkány.
beautiful. Is that the tower?
Ó,
That's not the tower. This is the entrance to.
ez az őszi sárkány, ami volt. Az a leveles.
By the way, Drake of the Canopy. I believe you've seen this guy in the past.
Basszus, és ezt se vettem meg.
Beautiful beast.
Milyen jól néz ki.
A loyal beast. Smart.
Na jó, oké, hát felírom a egyre hosszabbodó listákra azokról a dolgokról, amiket nem vettem meg is. Hát jó, ez van. De jól néz ki.
Let me know what you think of this in chat and in the comments of this video. But it is beautiful. And you know, the great thing is I'm running a 2080 right now. I upgraded.
1080-ason futtatja.
And
Igen, olyan egyébként. Azt akartam éppen mondani, hogy 1080-as van a kártyájában, a gépében. Szóval... Mondtam, én optimalizációban tök jók.
alright.
Szóval lehet, hogy nem kell annyira aggódnunk az Unreal Engine 5 miatt. Jó, nyilván aki ilyen RTX-eket meg ilyesmiket akar, az ahhoz kell az a kártya, amiben van, de ez 1080-ason így néz ki, akkor engem nem érdekel az RTX.
My friends.
Szóval, wow, csoda törpetorony.
You know,
Nekem ez bőven elég,
inside
ha így néz ki. Sőt,
in the dungeon that lies
nekem már az előző verzió is tetszett.
is going to claim a lot of lives. Will you be one of those lives? Who knows? But I heard that there's some great surprise for us up at the top.
Valami meglepetés várja a toronyban.
Let's see. You know what? We might just cheat and fly up. What do you guys think? Oh, you know, actually, this would not be an update without some mounts. Let me show you some mounts.
Ja, még egy kis már. El akar repülni.
This is skin.
Nem azt mondta, hogy T, hanem csak 1080.
Say hello to this little guy.
Szerintem nem T-je van, csak sima 1080-as. Az otthoni gépében. Legalábbis én úgy tudom.
Very, very pretty.
Hát most nem tudom, hogy T-je vagy nem T. Lehet, nem tudom. Nem tudom.
This is the
Az biztos, hogy most sem mondta, hogy T.
our dear friend. Carmine
Oh.
Chameleon.
Ó, kis kis tatú. Milyen?
He has a great
kis-
top.
Ja, nem az a kis, hogy hívják? Gyíkbéka, nem tudom mi.
Oh, that guy's great.
Aminek voltak ilyen kristályok.
Oh my gosh! I
Hogy?
love his run.
Nem, azt mondta, hogy 1080-as. Ja? Hát, ez most egy jó kérdés. Nem, szerintem a kártyát mondta,
He doesn't have steps for some reason. Steps out.
de majd visszahallgatom.
Let us fly.
Szerintem a kártyát mondta. Running on a 1080.
Cheating. You went to the top
De
of the
lehet,
tower.
hogy nem hallottam azt, hogy P. Na, mi lesz a meglepi? Oh.
There's no monsters over here.
Aha.
What is that?
Hát akkor lehet, hogy arra gondolt.
Is that
Ez
what
ott
I
egy
think it is?
karácsonyfa.
Is that a
Oh!
Christmas tree?
Valaki odarakott egy karácsonyfát a torony tetejére.
That looks awesome. Oh, you know what? Wait, one more. Moonstrider. He's very festive.
Ó, kis izé,
Look at him.
kis szarvaska, vagy mi ez? Neve szarvas. Úgy fut, mint a hosszú orrú. Mount. Ó,
It's a
Csoda kis
Christmas
karácsony.
tree. Yes. How awesome is that? What is in this present over here? Let me walk up to it.
hát jól néz ki az egész, az biztos. Kíváncsi leszek.
Yes. It's a
Uh,
UE5 surprise. Oh. Well, everyone, I hope you guys enjoyed this little glimpse of a new biome, new area, the announcement for Unreal Engine 5. There's a lot of
nem volt
amazing and
röccenése
exciting
sem.
things
Jó,
coming up in 2022.
nem volt neki.
Um,
Nem szokott röccögetni
team
a
has been
videókon.
hard at work in prepping for Alpha 2, and
Meg
we
most
cannot
sem,
wait to
szóval.
show you more of everything we've been
De hát mondjuk
working
nálam sem volt, nekem sima 1080-ason és semmi.
on.
Sem volt sosem
All
maxra
stay well
húzva
and
az
safe.
egész grafikát,
Enjoy the
se az
holidays
Alpha 1-ben,
and
se az
awesome
Apocalypse-ben, se sehol.
year.
Szóval... Kivéve amikor ugye ilyen szervergondok voltak, hogy a városban belagolt, de ilyenek. Maga a kártya az bírta simán, én 90 körüli FPS-e. Na, akkor Unreal Engine 5. Az igaz, az igaz. De hát a többségnek nincsen 4K-s monitora. Szerintem az nagyon a kisebbség, akinek 4K-s monitora van. No hát, no hát. Hát figyelj, a spot teszteken majd elválik, hogy mennyire bírja a gépem, lehet, hogy semmennyire, de az mondjuk azon csodálkoznék. Azon csodálkoznék. Ma hú tetszik legjobban, ahogy a nyílásokon bejön, meg befújja a szél. Meg a fények. Hát spot test az szerintem tavasszal várható. Szerintem. Főleg most, hogy ugye így portolnak át. Mindent el kell rakniuk, ami eddig volt, szóval... Szerintem teszt nem lesz azelőtt, amielőtt a készrészeket át nem pakolták, szóval az meg szerintem legkorábban tavasz. Aztán ki tudja, mennyire tart sokáig, nem tudom. Nem értek hozzá. Jól néz ki. A zene is új egyébként, ezt a zenét még nem hallottam. Majd a tengerre leszek kíváncsi. A Kirin is, Kirin is jobban néz ki. Arra is kíváncsi leszek, hogy mennyivel foglal nagyobb helyet majd ez. Aha. Hát ez egyébként könnyen lehet, szóval
Hello. We
Csú.
hope that you all enjoyed it. From the looks of the chat, we think you did. But I did see quite a few questions, so if you don't mind me, Stephen,
Egyébként
going ahead
gondolom
and
úgy csinálták meg az
asking
Unreal
those.
Engine-öt, hogy minél könnyebb legyen
Obviously,
portolni 4-ről.
first and foremost is how does this upgrade to
Valószínűleg direkt úgy
UE5
lett
affect the
megcsinálva.
Ashes of Creation release timeline? We knew that this question was going to be a question that came up. I saw a couple people asking it.
Yeah, it's a good question. So,
Ja, de oké, de ott rámentek a nagyon realisztikus dolgokra. Azért itt annyira, tehát jól néz ki meg minden, de azért nem ultra realisztikus valami lesz nyilván, arra nincsen szükség egy MMO-nál.
And officially the entire development team will be on UE5 come the first or second week of January.
Január első vagy második hetében már az egész csapat az Unreal Engine 5-ön fog dolgozni, szóval akkor eléggé haladtak fel. A művészeti csapat meg ugye belemerült ebbe a Luminba, meg az összes többi ilyen grafikai lehetőségbe. Meg ez a nanitos rendszer. Amire én tudom, az Unreal Engine 5 egy csomó olyan rendszert tartalmaz, amivel könnyen és gyorsan lehet nagyon jól kinéző dolgokat csinálni. Tehát elvileg ez nagyon segíthet nekik már így az alap dolgokban is. De aztán tényleg nem értek hozzá, csak ilyeneket hallottam.
Absolutely. So on the question of timeline and how
Timeline.
UE5 will affect kind of what our internal anticipated delivery date is. So a big portion of this is there's a lot of front end work that's necessary for us, front loaded, so to speak, as we're doing the migration over, as we're taking a look at our assets and converting them over into Nanite. But in the long run, what this provides Ashes of Creation,
ez az, amit most mondtam az előbb szerintem.
Is continued support on a new engine from Epic.
Ugye az Epic az folyamatosan támogatja az új motort, nyilván.
UE4 began development like I think 2004 or
2005. De az Unreal Engine 4 az 2004-ben kezdődött el. Tehát azért az majdnem egy 20 éves motor. Azt mondod, szerint én nem tennék ilyen kijelentéseket, majd meglátjuk. Meglátjuk, hogy mit optimalizálnak meg, hogyan. Most nem arról beszélek, hogy RTX fog futni olyan kártyán, ahol nem lehet, nyilván, de szerintem nem biztos, hogy feltétlenül nagyon nagy valami kell majd hozzá. Meglátjuk.
That we weren't going to exacerbate the amount of effort it would take to move over later in the lifespan or after launch for the MMORPG. So it made most sense for us to do this now during our alpha.
Igen, nyilván, hogyha megjelent már a játék, és akkor sokkal nehezebb lett volna átportolni 5-re, mint most így ilyen készültségi fokozatban. Ez tök egyértelmű. Ja, ez egy jó ötlet egyébként.
That's intended in UE5 that was not present in UE4. Previously in UE4 there were some constraints on the size of an open world that you could have available before you ran into some issues.
Olyan is van benne a nyílt világokra nézve, ami a 4-ben nem volt.
Around 20 kilometers squared with an underrealm, right? However, one of the other main components that and UE5 doesn't have that constraint, right? We're able to do
csak megkötések a világ méretben.
So that's an important aspect. The other thing is the pipeline, the way in which developers work in UE4 was through a sub-level system, right? Where you had to check out a sub-level and only one developer at a time.
Ugye a működési rendszere is más az Unreal Engine-öknek.
However, UE5 now utilizes the world loading in cells rather, and this allows for
cella rendszerben, vagy sejtes rendszerben működik.
to be able to work in the same level without having to lock it to just one person at a time.
Tehát többen tudnak ugyanazon a dolgon dolgozni egyszerre, mert nincsen belokkolva, hogyha valaki belement.
From a workflow standpoint, it's like basically.
Tehát mondom, ez a motor szerintem sokkal gyorsabb munkát tesz majd lehetővé.
Someone else to check it out, they have to like message me and be like, hey, can you check that in so that I can check that out because I need to implement my thing.
Or this person left for the day and they won't be back until the morning and I need that.
And they check it out. And checked out. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So it's a major pipeline improvement in just the sheer capacity of people who can work on it on a particular location in the world at one time.
Hát nyilván hosszabb távon
So as I was saying,
sokkal
what effect does this
jobb,
have on
hogyha
the
ezen vannak, mint a
timeline of
négyen.
Ash's creation? As I said, there's going to be a few months where we're going through, we're taking stock of everything that needs to be migrated over, and we're addressing some of the bugs that come with that type of migration.
Biztos lesznek bugok is az átportolással nyilván.
But in the long run,
hosszú távon mindenképpen gyorsabbá teszi, sokkal gyorsabbá teszi a fejlesztést. Most lesz egy pár hónap, amíg így átvackolnak mindent, kiküszöbölik a hibákat, és akkor utána sokkal jobban gyorsabban fognak menni.
Team over at Epic, very talented individuals, amazing company. And you know,
nem tudom, én szerintem... Figyelj, ha ez tényleg elfutott egy 1080-on, még akkor is, hogyha egy TI, szerintem nem kell annyira aggódni. Lehet, hogy neked lesz igazad, de én egyelőre nem gondolom, hogy itt annyira parázni kellene miatt. Hát, hogy meglátjuk. Hát, ha elindul a spot test, és leolvad a gépem, akkor majd azt mondom, hogy igazából szólok, te jó ég, de hát csak nem. Lehető legjobb élményt akarják nyújtani. Figyelj, én már eddig is úgy voltam, hogy itt órákat fogok turistáskodni, de hát ezzel a látvánnyal aztán heteket, mondjuk amúgy is hetek lettek volna, de mindegy. Van így. Tényleg arra leszek majd kíváncsi, hogy már ismert területek most hogy néznek ki. Ezt még nem láttuk.
And then presenting me with a recommendation, which was unanimous to make the move to UE5. You know, vetting all the components that UE5
minden részleg egyetértett abban, hogy érdemes átváltani az Unreal Engine 5-re, mert az hosszú távon előnyös lesz. Igen. Ja, nem, az biztos azt mondta, hogy 1080, de azt, hogy P vagy kártya, azt nem tudom most így akkor.
Focused around updating the renderer, right? Giving access to Nanite, Lumen, global illumination, like those are big components. There's other great aspects of it, but really it's a front-end change, and it doesn't affect our networking layer. It doesn't affect our back-end.
Ugye ennek nincsen hatása a backendre, meg a hálózati kódra, meg ilyesmikre. Ez csak ugye a frontend rész, nagy rész.
Talk a little bit more about the benefits too of it. There are some questions here. Actually, well, let's go through all the UE5 ones, and then I'll ask about some other stuff that people asked in chat. This one's a pretty quick one. Will the upgrade to UE5 affect the supported operating systems? A lot of people are like...
Lesz a hatással a támogatott operációs rendszerekre? Váltásnak volt a kérdés.
Of that additional operating system support is that there's just not a lot of players. There's not a lot of
ez volt az egyik tippünk.
Linux users out there from a player base. So,
hát nyilván Linuxosok nem fognak játszani játékot.
Necessarily would see how much work it would take to do that, but really like less than 1% of the player base is using Linux as an operating as an OS.
And we constantly get the console question as well, and we're always telling you guys, like, currently we're focused on PC. If we do
konzolon sem terveznek egyelőre megjelenni, szóval.
Let's do one thing at a time. Next up we have, how will the upgrade to UE5 impact the game's required and recommended specs?
Tessék, itt van a kérdésed szóló. Hogy lesz ez hatással az ajánlott konfigurációra?
the thing about the spec is obviously we want to make it the game as accessible to everyone, and in that sense, the
Ja, azt akarják, hogy
scalability
minél
settings
többen
and
elérjék.
the options that players will have
Hát
to
rengeteg
play the
opció lesz arra,
game
hogy
at
beállítsuk a
different
játékot.
quality levels is going to
Azt
be
mondom, én nem
a
aggódnék.
big part of that question.
Nagyon.
Our goal is still to that end to make it as accessible as possible. So I
Nem megy
don't
Linuxon.
yet know what impact it's going to have
Még nem
on
tudja pontosan, hogy milyen hatása lesz az ajánlott gépigényre, de majd
knowledge panel and FAQ section of the website. It's possible that may change.
Lehet, hogy változik, de mindent megtesznek, hogy lehetőleg jobban skálázható legyen. Linuxon nem megy, hát.
As well as on the support Twitter and stuff like that. We'll let you guys know. But right now, as is, that is our min spec. You can go check it out over on our support page. Yeah. Beyond that, I know you kind of talked a little bit about this, but I don't know if you want to. It's a big question, and it's we could be here all day talking about it. But what is the process for upgrading from UE4 to UE5? People are kind of wondering if that's going to affect us.
Ezt egy 1080-assal játsza.
Is it going to take us longer for development versus, you know?
Mi a hatása lesz a fejlesztési időre? Ezt az előbb mondta.
You know, have bugs in part of this migration. That's something that engineers have obviously been spearheading as part of.
De nyilván az is fontos kérdés ez, hogy mennyi hiba jön elő így.
A lot of that addressed, especially by McP. He did a great job on that front. So, you know, I think that we will likely be releasing some blog come the new year that kind of details
Ez
out
egy
what that
blogbejegyzés majd.
Like. Moving from UE4 to UE5.
Erről a témáról az év elején valószínűleg.
With Epic and they, you know, showcase we'll see. But you know, it is a comprehensive process, and you know, it does have implications on the art side. You know, we have a significant amount of assets that have, you know, been created obviously for Ashes of Creation being as large of a game as it is. And you know, there's going to be some taking stock of those and seeing what's compatible from a Nanite perspective as well, utilizing chaos, and you know, there's a lot of stuff there that we want to take advantage of. And
sok olyan része van a motornak, ami ki akarnak használni. Na persze, átportolják Unreal Engine 5-re.
Now to go into some more things.
4-ről
Are we
5-re.
using UE5 early access or waiting for the full release? I think
we're using early access.
Obvious that we're using the early access. And now I'm going to go into like kind of some questions in regards to like what are some of these pieces that are
az early access verzióját használják a motornak.
So obviously the first part is what is Nanite and how will that improve the visual effects that people are seeing right here on the stream actually.
Yeah, absolutely. Nanite brings us really an entirely new approach to rendering and art workflows.
Nem, mert az felgyorsítja a munkát, hogyha átportoltak mindent. Sokkal gyorsabban lehet vele dolgozni. Szóval nem feltétlenül.
Is that they can import high quality sculpted meshes directly into Unreal 5 without really having to reduce the poly count, making the workflow more efficient.
Közvetlenül be tudnak illeszteni bonyolult modelleket. Nem kell átportolgatni meg minden.
For example, the tower scene that you saw. That's made up of over, I think it's like 5 or 6 million polygons. So the level of detail that the assets would normally have had to make for that tower are automatically handled by Nanite.
A tornyot például részben automatikusan csinálja az a nanitos rendszer.
My next question here, and I think after this question, I may have another video that I want to show people.
Még egy kérdés, aztán még egy videó lesz.
Talk about that as we're showing that video.
Nem.
So what is Lumen and how will that improve the lighting?
Lumen gives us a much more
Fényeken hogyan
realistic
változtat?
approach to lighting.
Aha, sokkal valósághűbb fények. Hát ez is jól néz ki, ami itt van most. Szóval...
really brings the world to life. The previous global illumination methods such as ray tracing, GI, were too expensive, but Lumen helped solve that problem in Unreal 5.
Ehhez nem is kell ray tracing, tessék. Ezt a Lumen elintézi, hogy ilyen látvány legyen. Nem kell hozzá RTX-es kártya. Látod, szóló?
does a better
RTX-el
job
működik.
than the skylight actor, which historically was exclusively used for world indirect illumination.
Maga a motor csinálja a
Everywhere,
fényeket.
skylight, captures the lighting contribution of the sky, except the direct light coming from the sun, and it uses that in a dungeon. It was very inaccurate, right? So what it boils down,
you don't actually have the sun in the dungeon either.
right? Exactly. and essentially, what it boils down to is that Lumen is going to greatly improve the visual fidelity and performance of the game. With a reduced work and effort that's required by the art team, making Ashes of Creation much more beautiful than in UE4.
Tehát sokkal szebb lesz a játék, mint az Unreal Engine 4-ben volt, és sokkal kevesebb munkát igényel, hogy sokkal szebb legyen. Videó!
First question is, as you're kind of seeing in this video, well, earlier you
Ó,
were
az a
seeing it,
sárkány miért nem vettem meg?
Steven had showcase some of the new
Na
locomotion
mindegy.
changes that are happening, which you're seeing when he's like climbing on things and touching objects
Ja, az
and
új
interacting with them, and
mozgási
jumping over them or
animációk,
under them.
arról lesz videó?
How do you think that those locomotion changes will
Nem, ez
affect
csak kérdés.
PvP? Some of the PvPers were concerned.
Hogy ezek hogyan
had a
hatnak a
little bit of
PvP-re?
concern in regards to that.
Fel lehet majd mászni a falon, vagy mit tudom én, az jó lenne.
Yeah, I mean, I think obviously the intent behind anything we implement in the game is going to be towards the end of our systems. PvP is a very important system in Ashes of Creation. So as we kind of play with this new ability, from a design perspective, we're going to
Nagyon negatív vagy, nagyon negatív vagy. 200-an tolták a fényeket, és nem halt meg a gépem, szóval egy röccenés nélkül bírta a gép a 200 fénytolást. Aha, ja, értem. Hát akkor ez úgy látszik, ez így jó. Kell hozzá RTX-es kártya.
Maybe I have an option to jump off the ledge at a point where I
És még jobban is néz ki, mint
onto the side of a cliff or something. Now, the give and take there is I won't be able to use my skills while I'm mantled, right? I won't be able to react easily, but I didn't have to take the fall damage per se. Or if there's an obstruction and I'm going to take a significant reduction in speed so that I can crouch and make it past that. And now I have a effective, line of sight has been obstructed as a result of that decision. I think it adds interesting elements to
PvP-hez ezek az új mozdulatok érdekes pluszokat adnak majd hozzá, hogy el lehet bújni ilyen valami alá bemászol, meg ilyesmik.
Opposite of the flow of combat in PvP.
Nem X-Mix, látod, nem nézted az Alpha 1-es streamjeimet? Nem, az Alpha 1-ben tolták 200-on. Semmi röccenés nem volt, egy ostromnál sem. Szóval, ne legyél negatív. Negatív X-Mix.
And is it possible that we might come back and design
Ja, hát persze, nyilván.
There wasn't a way for us to make these additional functionalities congruent with our flow of PvP.
Hát most sok minden lesz, igen.
Yeah, of course. There's always that.
Ez milyen jól néz ki a jég.
But it's been interesting to play with thus far.
Na szóval az új mozdulatok a PvP-ben is új lehetőségeket adnak majd nyilván.
Is UE5 going to change any aspect of class abilities, spells, etc.?
Változtat-e majd az Unreal Engine-et a skilleken, hasonlókon?
Not that I can think of, no.
De az a kártyád miatt volt, vagy a szerver miatt?
As part of the class skills and abilities, going forward is the application of Lumen and how those abilities from a visual effects standpoint
lassult be, vagy a gépet?
The surrounding area and its illumination. That could be interesting, but from a functionality standpoint, no, I wouldn't say that there's going to be any implications from a change to UE5.
Yeah. All right. I think that kind of encompasses a lot of the UE5 specific questions that were being asked in chat. And to kind of recap, because I think some folks were a little confused about like whether this is going to affect our timeline in the long run of things. And basically to like kind of recap what Stephen was saying is, in the forefront right now, we will have a couple months where we are fixing bugs and as we integrate and change over to UE5. But in the long run, this is actually going to save us much more time. One of the examples that he gave is a really good example of being
hát szerintem, hogy meglátjuk a teszteken, aztán igazából most bármit mondunk, szerintem úgyse tudjuk, hogy ennyire lesz rá hatással, szóval...
Previously, when we had UE4, only one person could check out those places at a time in order to build out the world. So just
Most összefoglalja, amit mondott egyik streamen, hogy ugye következő pár hónapot az átportolással töltik, aztán a bugfixekkel, és akkor utána sokkal gyorsabban tudnak majd haladni. Aha. Ja, értem. Hát szóló, akkor passz. Meglátjuk a következő teszten, hogy mi lesz. Igazából. X-Mix tudja. X-Mix minden tud.
We're not compelled by some, publisher imposed launch date.
Szerencsére nincsen ilyen kiadó által rájuk erőltetett megjelenési dátum. Nyilván, mert nincsen kiadó. Ők a kiadók, szóval középpontban az áll, hogy olyan játékot csinálnak, amit mindenki, hát a játékosok szeretnek. Nincsen benne pay to win. Nincsen elkapkodva.
Aspects of gameplay and MMO, something that answers the call of MMO players, right? And in doing that, we want to make the best product possible. UE5 from a support standpoint is very important in that regard, right? When we talk about the timeline of the game, I have said since 2020, or since the end of 2019, that the game is going to be ready when it's ready, and we're going to keep you abreast of the updates, the changes, the development, the progress every month, as we've done, and our amazing community team has helped to facilitate, right? Yeah. So you guys get to see the game evolve and the game come to life over time. And
Alpha 2-én úgyis permanensen látjuk majd, hogy mi hogy változik, szóval. Az Alpha 1 meg jövőre lesz, szóval. Ennyi. Vagy Alpha 2, bocsánat.
Exactly. The game is going to stay true to...
We'll have bugs. Everyone has bugs.
Of course.
Yeah.
No.
I just want to
I think the player base knows what I'm talking about with certain games.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That should not have been launched when they were launched.
Igen, ugye mindenki ismer olyan játékokat, amik megjelentek, amikor még nem kellett volna New World.
Server stability problems and issues during our Alpha 1 and previous pre-alpha testing.
I want to make sure I'm not trying to be salty, and I'm not trying to call out any specific games, because it's not just one. There've been many. Yeah. If you've been an MMO player for any amount of period of time, you have experienced the games that should have been kept in the oven a little longer.
Not even MMO games.
No, yeah, it's. I mean,
ja, nem is kizárólag MMO-k voltak ilyenek, szóval.
It's not just launch days. It is the project themselves that needed more time to develop.
Oh, for sure.
Launch day problems are understood. That's fine. We know there's going to be. I think players.
You're saying when a project launches.
A megjelenési napi problémák azok érthetőek, ez mindig van, mindenhol lesz.
Be forgiving of launch issues, especially when those launch issues
de ugye nyilván
derived from high player populations, right? And
nem ezekkel van probléma.
With a lot of players. I think we're really forgiving of that.
Nem hiszem el, hogy elhinnéd, és semmit nem hiszel el.
Of the game's designs, when you get into the details of, what bugs made it
past semmit nem hiszel.
Those types of things, anyways. My point is that long-term gains in the development process, we feel, and the assessment feels, are going to make up for the short-term front.
Na, szóval a rövid távú kicsit lelassulás, ami most lesz a portolással, azt simán behozzák majd a hosszú távú, sokkal gyorsabb fejlesztéssel. Ez a lényeg.
In regards to the long-term aspect of it, funding, I think, is always the concern there. Obviously, you've said that,
hát a New World lassan ott tart, szóval.
Until Steven's like, I love this game, it is my future, and I'm going to play it every day of my life.
That's right.
We're not launching. And so what coincides with that is, how are you funding that? And I think a lot of people have questions in regards to that. I don't know if you're willing to share that aspect of it.
The bottom line is, I am committed to this project's success and completion. And that means that when it comes to funding for the additional years that perhaps were not planned for, that's coming out of mine and John's pocket.
Hogyan finanszírozzák azokat a fejlesztési éveket, amik eredetileg nem voltak betervezve? Saját zsebből. Ja. Skinek nyilván abból is, de saját zsebből is simán már benne van neki 50-60 millió dollárja, szóval nem aprózzál.
And that's something that's at the forefront of my mind anytime I walk into work, is how is what we're doing today going to impact the players tomorrow? That's a very important question. It's a product-driven development aspect. And I believe, based on the millions of players we already have pre-registered for the game, that Ashes of Creation is going to be one of the most successful and largest launches in MMO history. So, I think,
Egy nagy, arra számítanak, hogy az övék lesz az addigi legnagyobb megjelenés az MMO történetében, szóval nem aprózzák el.
To give some context, John is our CFO, because people are asking. People who are, I noticed there's a lot of new people. If you're new here, give us a good follow. And follow us on all of the other places on YouTube.
John is technically our president and CFO.
Oh, president and CFO.
Yes, that's right.
And as folks said in the chat, that's also Stephen's husband.
Yes, this is true.
But
hey, it's fun to work with your husband. It's fun.
Yeah, I think so. It can be both intense and also fun. All right, so I think that covers the questions, and I think I've did enough follow-up on some of the ones that weren't clear to folks. So if you have others, feel free to pop those into chat, and I will snag them. In regards to UE5, I know you guys have lots of other questions. And I want to show off this other video that we have. I know
nem baj, te majd nyúldozol, mi meg eljátszogatunk ezzel, látod?
And so I don't know if you want to give a little bit of a preface of what people are about to see, and then we'll showcase it and talk over the video as we're showing it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think we gave actually a little bit of an update on this stuff.
Nem tudom, mennyien néztek az alfát, de sokkal többet.
Was it September or was it October?
It was, I believe, September, yes.
Got it. So this was about
Nincs benne elég háború.
How we're going to perform from a rendering perspective, all of the characters we want to see in battle on screen, right? Now, obviously, this goes above and beyond what most players are going to want to see anyways, right? You're probably only ever going to see a few hundred on your screen at a given time. But the idea is for us...
Értelmetlen háború? Ja, hogy értelmes háború kell. Az nem is elég, hogy csak simán háború.
We have accomplished a significant majority of that objective. In Alpha 1,
so
we had
Stephen's
castles.
Like, more.
Well,
you can see him back there.
You want to put, the technology that allows us to scale, right, scales to a point. And I think that point is beyond what our objective was. And that's a good thing. So now let's see how far we can push it. And part of what Clayton Stamper has been working on, who's one of our engineers, with regards to, combining the player materials, which was previously, requiring, draw calls for chest, shirt, bracer, shoulder, legs, boots, helmet, face, body, that's all now been combined into a single material. And every single character is rendered using a single material. And, essentially the GPU only gets to
változtatok a karakterek megjelenítésén, tehát nem ilyen darabokban.
So I don't know if we have the video.
Nem minden darabot külön kell megjeleníteni a kártyáknak, hanem így egyben.
So, like I said, in September we showcased that merge materials shader, which brought draw calls from 12 previously per player down to 1 draw call per player by accepting material parameters from each modular section, the gloves, the legs, as I described before. The next step obviously was implementing that shader for the player so that they could change pieces of armor and have that update the material parameter dynamically. The final step, which is what you're seeing now, was extracting that code from the player and re-implementing it in a generalized way that can be used for any object in the game that needs a modular appearance. So what you're seeing here showcases the new modular appearance component, which can combine
moduláris megjelenítési komponens.
Single mesh and single material at runtime. What you're looking at is over 1,300 different
semmi jutalmat, dehogy nem.
These are simulated players essentially. Previously you saw the example.
És nem foglalják vissza másnap. Elfoglalsz egy kastélyt, az nem fogják másnap visszafoglalni.
And it was 1,000, right? This is 1,300 playing animations, playing effects. Now this isn't again
1300
plus the environment,
animáció.
which is, Nanite in
meg
this example.
a környezet.
So
1300
what you're
karakter.
seeing is all of these players moving around and doing
Látod,
something,
nem
and
akad.
you're seeing the frame rate at about 30
Ott az
on
FPS az
Clayton's rig, which
30,
I think is running at 1080.
egy 1080-ason.
And obviously all
I told
this
him
stuff.
I feel like I'm on a roller coaster.
Yeah,
You might want to take some drama.
1300 karakter, 30 FPS-sel, 1080-ason. Az új megjelenítési rendszernek köszönhetően. Tessék. És nyilván 1300 karakter nem lesz az ostromban.
Since this was built as a data-driven component, designers and artists get to make the infinite combinations of the appearances for any object without support from engineering, which is a big process aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Szóval.
So what you're seeing in this
Milyen nulla
demo
skill
isn't
effect?
players, their entities, as I said before, they have
Nem látod a
appearance components,
lövöldözéseket, meg a robbanást?
random character appearance and play combat animations.
És azt, hogy a karakterek nem csak ugrálnak, meg minden, az nem lesz 1300 karakter az ostromban, szóval ha leveszed mondjuk a 500-ra, akkor az a maradék 800 az simán kirakja a skilleket, szóval.
Custom appearances as bred through the animal husbandry system, all of which are running on a single draw call. And that allows the GPU to render modular meshes pretty efficiently. So this is work to accommodate the rendering side. So this isn't the server side stuff, right? This is rendering. This is your computer showing you other players and how many other players we can show you and the different costumes that they'll wear and the different mounts that they'll have.
Ez 1300 karakter, abból leveszel 800-at, mert 250 vagy jó, 500-as izéket akarnak, ostromokat, akkor a levett 800 karakter az még mindig elég ahhoz, hogy bőven kijön belőlük a skill, amiket nyomkodnak, hogyha lesznek skillek, érted? Nem lesz nem volt röccenés most se, enélkül a rendszer nélkül sem, szóval semmi baja nem lesz. De hát téged úgyse érdekel.
That's a totally different thing than even what we're seeing here, right?
Yeah,
that's something that is on the back end, on the network layer, how we're optimizing the traffic between, you know, the client's computer and the
Ugye ez az a része volt, amit a mi gépünk csinál. Ugye van a másik része, amikor ezt ugye visszaküld a szervernek, stb. Ez ugye egy másik rész.
You know, from a even starting at design, right, is with the objective of having these large battles. So when we talk about our server architectures, when we talk about our networking layer, when
nagy csatákat akarnak.
those types of things, how they
erre terveznek mindent, hogy nagy csaták legyenek.
having large player battles.
Hopefully that helped you and answered your questions.
Nagy
I
csata!
just see a lot of repeat questions in there, so hopefully
Hallod,
can
X-Mix,
answer some of
nagy
those.
csata!
But yeah,
This is a more technical stream,
It
so I
was very
apologize for
much-
those of you guys who are falling asleep and it's just like, just show me more
Ó,
videos.
tudom, nekem még 80-90 FPS-en volt.
and obviously this is going a bit longer.
Tudom, Full HD-n játszottam
so,
csak, és a többi, de legtöbb ember szerintem Full HD-n játszik. Maxra húzza minden, Full HD-ban 1080-assal, 80 alá sosem ment gyakorlatilag.
The design side, unless you have anything extra you'd like to talk
And that was a
about.
little bit on the engineering.
I know
actually.
that design and engineering are also
Oh,
working
yeah.
on a lot of
De hát nyilván nem
other
mindenkinek van
things
1080-as gépében, szóval biztos, hogy voltak olyanok, akiknek kevesebb volt.
I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about that.
De szerintem baromi jól optimalizálnak. És ugye ez még nem is volt optimalizálva, szóval
Yeah.
meg nem voltak benne a csúszkák, hogy állítgassuk a dolgokat. Igazából csak az volt, hogy azt hiszem 3 fajta lehetőség volt a beállításra. Hát majd meglátjuk. Karakter kreáló! Erre megint kíváncsi leszek. Azt tök jó lesz, amikor kiadják külön. Egy csomó időt el lehet majd fetszölgetni.
You know, examples of, and Clayton's been working on that front as well a little bit, has sent me over examples of like custom faces that he's made that are like celebrity faces.
Sőt, nekem ugye úgy volt meg a 80-90, hogy még streameltem is mellette, tehát még az is rátette a gépre, és úgy is. Szerintem stream nélkül felment 100 fölé simán, így állandóra. De nem nagyon játszottam stream nélkül, szóval
to hand out and get people start working on character customization.
Ezt nem mondom 100%, de
Great to hand that
szerintem
out to like focus group
simán akkor így
testers
100
who
volt.
can go and make like custom examples of celebrities or whatever that they
People
like.
want to do contests. So
Yeah, exactly.
we were thinking like we could do like put like some nice photos of like some of our staff and then have a contest to see who could make it as close as
I'd be
possible.
really concerned about that. Don't include me in the photo. But anyways, but giving that out and seeing what limitations they experience, right? What were they not capable of doing? And then we adjust the parameters of the customization to accommodate those.
Ja, hogy megnézik, hogy mit nem lehet megcsinálni, meg mit nem tudnak a játékosok már megcsinálni, és akkor így úgy optimalizálják, hogy beleférjen nagyjából.
Like Steven said, it's not quite ready to share yet. We also have a lot of other things down the pipeline for you guys, some more prototyping happening on the design
Várjál. Ez attól függ, hogy milyen kódolást használsz a streamhez. Én a kártyával kódolom a streamet, szóval nekem azzal megy. Ugye az OBS-ben be lehet állítani, hogy a processzorral streamelsz főleg, vagy a kártyával, és nekem a kártyámmal.
Some of the other content will come out later, and the full live stream will probably be up on YouTube tomorrow because it's going to take some time for it to render, especially for how long we're going right now.
Hát elvenné, hogyha nem lenne felesleges kapacitása, de bőven van, szóval. Szerintem ilyen 70% fölé nem ment még az Eshi's teszt alatt sem. Általában meg ilyen 40-50. Hát a processzorom miatt kéne, hogy korrigán. Kártyámnak soha semmi... Na, ezt így nem mondom ki, mert fejemre hívom az Istenek haragját, de nekem a túlmelegedés az mindig a processzor miatt volt. Soha az életben többet nem veszek cache processzort, azt tutifik. Úgyse húzom, úgyhogy... Melegszik, mint az atom.
Pretty hard on some cool Empyrean objects as well as Kalar. That's been their focus.
Érték a szokásos bútorok.
For previous races in the past, and so now they're just kind of like making the world really feel vibrant
boros
and,
flaskák.
per race. And right now these are the Empyrean ones. You're going to be seeing
Empyrean elf boros flaskák.
Dummies, podiums, little spices and wine. That was that little box that you saw earlier.
Ezek vajon még így készültek?
A cooking pit,
awesome.
a street sign, and a table.
Tesztbábuk.
Yeah, very cool stuff.
Ez megint olyan törpés aljú, ez biztos törpés. Ez meg mi? Ez a... Ja, ilyen grill cucc. Ó, de durva.
We know that a lot of you want to see very unique spaces every time
there's a tabla.
So that's definitely something we're trying to portray, but also keeping them within the racial and cultural
Aztán ez már volt.
kind of guidelines that we've set for ourselves.
Nem ezek bútorok, meg ilyesmi.
With like the materials that they use and the gemstones that they use and the style and the just kind of like how everything comes together is quite beautiful. And then we have the Kalar stuff, which you're going to see is a little bit more blocky, less like sharp pointed edges and things of that sort. And this is a work in progress boat. You've seen a few work in progress boats in the past. This is like early stages of it. There's a chest, road sign, a sofa, and some table stuff as well. But
yeah, these look all great.
Láda.
I mean, the art.
Tuti törpe láda.
Amazing.
And just over this last, couple of weeks, there were Tristan and Mia and Hal.
Építesz majd hajót.
Everybody on the artist, Michael Bacon,
Saját magad.
everybody on the art teams are incredibly talented and really threw in a lot of hours over this last week to get this UE5 announcement ready and showcasing some of the Lumen and Nanite features in this little walkthrough that we did. So big shout out to them. You guys did an awesome job. Amazing.
We love you.
We need hearts in chat. Hearts in chat.
Lots of hearts in chat for our artists. They are quite wonderful people. Artists. Moving on from there, we'll move on to our character goodies. This is by Danny.
Ez a rózsalovagoknak a köpenye.
And I have a turntable of it as well. So you can kind of see that. The 3D model.
Oh, yeah, it looks great. Love it.
Yeah. And I think a lot of you saw in games
lehet szóló, de nem szeretem.
reflective things were in the world. It's just
Jól néz ki ez a
quite gorgeous
páncél.
once you see everything like actually in the game and how the cloth feels.
Nem tudom, de
As you move and interact.
melegszik, mint az atom.
Even how weather
Az
is
biztos.
going to affect that stuff.
Tulipánharcosok, úgy? Nem, rózsalovagok, szóval jól néz ki.
And I think
The samurai!
Steven showed off in-game as well, which is the carmine carapace. We have a 3D render of that as well. And you got to see it
Ezt láttuk ugye a videóban.
With in-game lighting. Obviously when you're in-game,
I had that on
changes.
in the in-game.
Yeah, this one was the one that I really had a lot of fun designing, so it was very cool.
Very cool. The face really reminds me of Shredder.
Yeah, it's very much
Samurai
like
harcosok.
a Renkai.
De...
Yeah.
And then we have the Moonstrider, which you also saw in-game. Here are some like more high-res
ez az izében volt a Kickstarter-es csomagban.
Hadn't seen that hairstyle.
This was one of the first, I think this is one of the first mounts actually that we concepted. In addition to
it was before me.
In addition to the Dawnbreaker.
Very cool. And I think I have a 3D turntable of that. Very, very cool. And last, but never mind. Not last. I have a couple more. We have the pet, the wretched. Let's go here.
Oh.
The wretched.
Gyilkos virág.
Rafflesia. There we go. Rafflesia.
Rafflesia.
Yeah. I'm like, I designed this, but saying the name is hard.
Tóka kicsit megőrült a háttérben.
But really cool. Very neat. And you kind of got to see this in game.
Somebody said, "Feed me, Seymour."
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
Hát ez inkább tulipán, igen.
Oh yeah.
And then moving on, you saw Steven riding this bad boy, which is the Drake of the Canopy.
Az őszi sárkány.
I so want this as like a little model piece that I can use when I'm doing tabletop stuff.
Oh yeah.
Looks so cool.
I think there's still some effects needed. I told Jim it might be cool if after some of the flaps
az a falevél sárkány.
Particles of October leaves come out, yeah.
Yeah.
Falevél szárnyú sárkány. Tök jól néz ki.
I liked to imagine this as, you see a leaf kind of floating down the sky from far away, but as it gets closer, you're like, that's not a leaf.
That's not a leaf.
That's not a leaf.
It's a leaf dragon.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
So Manny worked on this one, which is cool.
Yeah, great job, Manny.
Yeah,
looks great.
Very beautiful. And I believe we can move on to our Q&A from there. Thank you all so much for putting all the love in chat for our artists. They are quite amazing. We try to showcase some of the stuff they're proud of each month. And, we'd be here forever if we showed off every art piece. Plus, we want to keep some stuff a little bit more, exciting for you guys to experience as you see them in game. And I think there have been some questions in regards to like cosmetic items and that front. I think we've explained this quite a few times, but just to kind of reiterate that, just because I know that it has come up more recently because we've got a lot of new people into our community. Really what you're helping us do, if you decide to do that, you do not have to back or support us. We completely understand if you don't want to. Put your money where your mouth is type of thing. But I think that from our perspective, we're going to be creating these creatures. We're going to be creating these NPCs. We're going to be creating these buildings to build out the world and the cultures of our world. And really what you're doing is just helping support that. Each one of those creatures is creatures that fills the world. Each one of those buildings, make the world come to life. And so we're going to need a lot of those. And these are allowing us to kind of create variations and do them a lot faster. And we're already going to do it anyway. So,
and I, as I have said many times in the past, the whole purpose of our development process being transparent, being open, is that you don't have to buy a package actually to participate. You can be a voice from the community. You can observe people playing. You can give your experiences and feedback, or you can not. nobody
Nem voltak
should
benne a
feel that
mechanikák.
they have to back the project to see it come to life. It's coming to life regardless of that. You do it because you want to support us, and that's fine.
Ja, gondolom a kérdés
And
az
if you
alfa
don't
csomagokra
want to,
vonatkozott.
that's also fine as well. We want to hear your voice, and we want you to be part of
Azoknak
the
akarják
community.
a
So
csomagokat
that's a
adni,
very
akik
important
szeretnék
aspect.
támogatni a fejlesztést,
Nothing we
ennyi.
offer in the
Nem
pre-order
kötelező,
packages are power driven. They don't give
semmi
any
pay to win nincs
competitive
bennük.
advantage to an individual
Ha nem
who
akarod,
backs the
nem
game.
veszel. Ha
You
akarsz,
can
veszel.
observe the alpha tests and the beta
Ezt már
tests,
hányszor elmondták.
and learn what other people who are participating in those tests can learn.
And people won't just be able to use those cosmetics like right off the bat at level 1. I think that's what people think is going to happen. You have
Ja,
to
és
own
nem is
the
lehet majd a
item,
skineket
and the item
használni
has to
úgy
have a
kapásból,
cosmetic
hanem
value
először
that
meg kell szerezni a
correlates with
cuccot
that
hozzá, mert ilyen
item.
nem a
So it's
cuccot
not like
adják, hanem
you're
csak a
gonna see
skin.
100 million people running around with
Szóval
it.
ahhoz, hogy legyen egy ilyen levélsárkányod, ahhoz kell először befonod egy sárkányt, amire rá tudod rakni a skint, szóval jó.
That they're aware of that as well.
Yeah, I just wanted to reiterate it because I did notice like on Reddit and a few other spaces
És
that
amuka
it
meg
was
itt
coming
hemper.
up again. And I know we've gone in there. Our community team's amazing. They've already been replying to those comments, and I saw that even you guys, as community members, have been doing that. So we really appreciate you reiterating that message for us.
It's super. I've said this in the past. I'll say it again. We have an amazing community already, and the game hasn't even launched. So you guys helping out, kind of explain stuff to new users, give them the links to the knowledge bases so that they can catch up, the cool video links. Like, being a welcoming community is a very good thing. And really it's what MMOs are all about.
No, not 100 million players per server. I was exaggerating.
Oh my goodness. Did you say 100 million players per server?
I was joking. I don't even think I said server, but
yeah,
people took it that way. So I saw a comment. I'm like, no, quenching that right now. No.
X-Mix.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Senki sem kötelező arra, hogy skint vegyél, szóval.
We'll wrap up. This has been a long one. So thank you all for enduring it with us. And we hope that you really have enjoyed it and that we've answered a lot of your questions. And if we don't answer your questions here live, a lot of them are probably repeat questions. So if you asked a question in the forums, I will be replying to that thread.
Ehhez kapcsolatban meg biztos sok kérdés lesz, hogy mivel jár majd, meg mit okoz majd az Unreal Engine 5, aztán majd meglátjuk, hogy fut a teszteken.
So if you didn't get answered here live, please check that. And so these are the non-repeat questions. First one is from Emberstone, and they want to know about Escort quests.
Nézd meg a Star Citizen már 10 éve, mennyi ideje megy a Star Citizen? Ott aztán
movement speed we are. So often in a lot
aztán
of
dől a
MMORPGs, you'll have an escort
a folyamatosan átdolgozott hajók.
So slow with this person, or they're running too fast and you have to keep up with them.
I foresee these, if there are escort-oriented quest lines, utilizing different speeds at different portions of the escort.
Ja, az escort questek, aha. Ugye mindig várni kell az escorttól landó NPC-kre általában. Majd lesznek különböző sebességek. Hát, hogy egyes helyeken majd sétálnak, máshol meg futnak. Meg jönnek támadások, nyilván.
If you don't address that ambush in a quick manner, your escortee has already started running off to the next thing, and now he's getting ambushed by the next thing, right?
Oh my gosh, the chat's like, can I kill the person I'm escorting? You guys are so mean.
I mean, maybe you can.
Megölhetem azt.
What if questing had a pass or fail, and both were legitimate rewards in the sense that
lehet, hogy meg lehet majd ölni.
Perhaps if it fails and you kill I'm just joking, but if you kill the person,
some other person finds out that you killed them and is like, hey,
or not even that, maybe you accrue not corruption points, maybe you accrue like negative reputation, right? Yeah. And that might be a predicate for you to accept a more seedy quest line in the back alleys of a node. Like, you might have to hit a certain negative reputation before you get some bad actors that are coming.
They're gonna do there's some people out there that are gonna do some evil stuff
Lehetőség
just because
nem
they
van.
want to find it.
Maximum egy kicsit rosszul a csúnya szemmel néznek majd, de
I mean, it's
megint idő múlva rossz híred lesz.
Literally, we were having a discussion like 3 or 4 weeks ago, Jeremy Guest and the design team, on reputation scores and what those reputation scores mean on a per faction basis, right? The more good aligned or civilization building aligned tasks that you complete, you get higher positive reputation. But if you get low or bad reputation, you could be deemed enemy of the state of a node. You could be deemed kind of a bad actor, and it might raise prices for you, but it
De
also
mostanában
might open
beszélgettek a
up
repukról.
certain quest lines that,
Ha mondjuk rossz a repút valamelyik
darker,
területen,
seedier
akkor
side
lehet,
people
hogy
that are
más
interested in
questeket is kapsz
communicating with
hasonló.
individuals like
Vagy ha jó,
yourself,
akkor
right?
másokat
And this
kapsz.
could be reputation on a per node basis, right? It's
You
not,
see thieves.
you're not
You
just,
start seeing thieves can't like on the walls.
yeah, sorry, I'm going off on a total tangent, but go ahead.
It's okay. People like it. Our next question is from Nolsey. Let me know how I'm supposed to pronounce that. It's about dueling. Will you be able to initiate a duel
Párbajok.
within a freehold or a city?
Yeah.
Városokban vagy
Duels won't
freeholdokban
be
lehet
considered part of
párbajozni.
the
Igen.
flagging system, right? The
Az
duels
nem
are
a
going to be
PvP rendszer
self-contained
része.
event
Az
that
sehol
gets
sem az.
opted into by the
Párbajozni általában
players
mindenhol
and
lehet.
the participants, and that's
Ugye az a
Like an
párbaj, amikor így
FBI.
ráklik kell, hogy duell, és akkor
Airbender.
right. It's a little. The guards look at you in the city, and they're like, "Oh my god, not these larpers again." I'm just kidding. I'm just
I would be like, Steven, I call upon you for a battle.
I take
Duel
the glove
me
out,
at
slap the
dawn.
player. Yeah, exactly.
Slap you with a sandal. No.
As a matter of fact, we should include whenever there's like a duel, we should include some like texts from the guards as they walk by. Is like, not these
be kéne
larpers
raknunk
again.
ilyen
You know, I don't know.
szövegeket az őröktől,
We
amikor
should have
párbajt
a,
látnak,
like,
hogy jó,
a
megint ezek.
sandal duel as just like a fun. Just slap each other with
Nem,
sandal.
az
It's like the
Arcade-ben van.
melee version.
Bár nem tudom, hogy a polgármesterek
Alright, our
ilyesmit
next question
csinálhatnak
is
majd, de
from
lehet.
Nostra, who wants to know about siege scrolls. Do completed siege scrolls expire, or can you hoard them
Az
forever?
ostromtekes csak
No,
lejárnak
Quest
el.
line and keep them?
So they do
lejárnak.
expire. And the method
Nem lehet
right now
előre
is
legyártani.
when you complete a quest line and you're going to receive the scroll, you must stipulate the node that that scroll is valid for. And then there is a lifetime on the scroll, right? So yes, there is a lifetime, and the scrolls are determined by you at completion of quest with a name on it.
Így egy quest is kell a
Alright.
elkészítésükhöz.
And George Black
Specifikus helyre
and
szólna.
Oliver want to know about max level.
And by the way, the mayor is made I'm sorry, real quick. The mayor is made aware of what scroll has been generated if their node is the one that's named on the scroll. So like you may not have placed it yet, and it has a lifetime,
So they can
but
prepare.
the mayor gets some informant that
Én lennék
tells
a város
them, you
ellensége.
know, hey, someone's out there and they're trying to
Jó,
come down
jó.
for you right now, so you better be prepared.
Or
Jól
you
van.
can try to diplomacy your way out of the situation if you can figure out who it is.
Yeah.
Steven's like, yeah, that's not happening.
If someone goes through the effort to attain the scroll, it's unlikely they're going to have diplomacy.
I don't know. Some people are pretty ballsy. They're like, look what I got. They were waving it around.
Yeah.
So George Black and Pickett Oliver want to know about max level. As an MMO player, what do you consider a good carrot on a stick to keep players once you've reached max level / gear progression?
Yeah, I think that you know, there's a lot of elements in different progression paths in the game, whether it be accomplishments through the crafting system and becoming a master of the economy, whether it be player-driven systems and achievements and trophies that you can hold on to or lose, like castles, aspiring to become mayor, you know, the types of wars and you know, different PvP elements, the you know, the raids that you can help to gear out your guild. It's like, you know, there's a lot of traditional MMO.
Your house, your freehold.
Right, absolutely your house. There's the way that Ashes is constructed is there are multiple paths of progression from a PvP
sokféle lehetőség lesz a fejlődésre. Craft, PvP, PvE, questek, raidek,
you know, become the master of
felfedezés.
everything, right? So you're going to have to pick and choose, but even picking and choosing that gives you a place within that aspect of the world, at a place that's going to be something that you can build up a reputation around. And a lot of those are player driven and are cyclical in nature of the gameplay loop, right? They don't necessarily have an end game state, right? Because that can fluctuate, that can change from moment to moment. And it's those types of fluctuations, it's those types of you know, unexpected outcomes that keep you involved, that keep you interested, that keep you emotionally invested in the outcome
Ott figyelnem kell, ha karavánt viszek, mi?
player-driven aspects.
Hát a
And you can
X-Mixes
totally go
csapata
out and
rám
be a
támad.
fisherman. I think someone was mentioning that in chat.
Fisherman, yeah,
You can
yeah.
totally do that. Just be careful. There might be some pirates out there or some big
Yes.
creatures
Kalóz
in the
leszel, tuti
ocean
kalóz lesz.
causing
Pirates
some
are big
commotion.
fishes, yes.
Our next question is from Dante Machiavelli, and they want to know about costumes. Will there be any cosmetics or armor pieces that are more revealing than the default appearance of a character when they're not wearing anything?
Than the default appearance. What does that mean? Like, if you were, is there any?
Like,
Is there going to be more?
Can you be naked or wearing like a swimsuit? I don't know.
Oh,
I'm not sure about their exact specifics, but basically,
we're
going to have more showy body part armor.
There's going to be. There's probably going to be armors. Well, probably not. I don't know. There's going to be probably armors or costumes or clothing sets that you can, wear that are going to be more revealing.
Lesznek-e olyan cuccok, amik ilyen jobban megmutatják a karaktert?
That's a different type of game.
Hát a tulipán, azaz.
I know. We keep getting people asking about sliders for certain body parts and stuff too.
Oh, there might be sliders. Yeah, but there's not gonna be naked sliders.
We're not rated for mature. We're definitely trying to make sure
with sliders.
Our game is accessible to a variety of people.
Nem lesz olyan, mint a Conan Exiles-ban.
All of our questions for
Túl
today.
mesztelenül rohangálsz.
So we've
Hey, I guessed we would make it to 12:30 and it's 12:35. It's not bad.
Yeah, I messaged Steven, I was like, I think that we could do it in an hour, but if we keep tangenting, we'll probably be over for sure. But I think we're good. It's kind of our last day of the work year.
Oh, it is today. Today is the last day of the work week, and then we're off until
Utolsó munkanapjuk idén.
It's very generous of you and John to give that to the team. I know everyone at the company has been very thankful. So,
Nekem is ilyen kéne, hogy karácsony előtti nap az utolsó munkanap, és akkor egész évben nem kell többet dolgozni. Jó, és egy hétről van szó igazából, hogy veszek egy másfél hét.
So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting us. Thank you for sharing information with other people. We saw a lot of new faces today too. So for those of you who are just joining in, there's a lot of places to keep in touch with us. You can follow us on all of our social platforms. Discord and forums. We're talking to people daily, even on all of our social platforms with Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. You can follow us right here on Twitch so you don't miss out on any future streams. But yeah, we're doing a lot of stuff. We're keeping in touch with you guys on a daily basis. We continue to put out content. So if you're interested in following along with our journey, please do so. And of course, we will have another one of these in January. We're probably going to go back to our normal last Friday of the month time frame. These last few months have been a little bit weird because of the holidays, so we appreciate you guys kind of.
No, hát azt ne legyen. Röhelyes.
And we hope that you all have a wonderful holiday New Year.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for tuning in. We hope
Januárban valószínűleg visszatérnek az utolsó havi péntek a stream időpont verzióhoz. Hát nyilván. Köszönjük a támogatást. Az nem lesz itt szerintem. Az a Terra, meg a hasonlók.
And it is a big motivation factor for everyone on the team. So we love you guys and we hope you have an awesome holidays and a great new year.
Yeah, we don't get to express the thanks from all of our team, but seriously, it's very, very loving. It means a lot to them, and we try to share as much as we can with them, all of the wonderful things that you guys say, and we send out reports every month to showcase a lot of all of that as well. So keep sending us your feedback, keep sending us the love, and of course, don't forget, we'll have a new dev discussion coming in January about griefing. So, I know a lot of you PvPers out there and non-PvPers will want to get your say in that. So please do keep an eye on it. And of course, our December cosmetics will swap over on January 12th. And we will see you in the new year.
Nem, lesznek sliderek. Na. Meg kell szereznem ezt az ezüst tizét, ezt a logót, tök jó. No. Unreal Engine 5. Hát ez jó lesz ez. Csak fusson a gépünkön. No, köszönöm szépen, hogy itt voltatok. Ez volt az idei utolsó streamfordítós, minden. Holnap nem tudom, hogy leszek-e. Majd meglátjuk, hogy alakulnak itt a dolgok, aztán úgyis kiderül, hogyha leszek, akkor vagyok. Nyilván. köszönöm szépen, hogy itt voltatok, meg kellemes karácsonyt holnap mindenkinek, hogyha nem jövök akkor is, meg ha nem jöttök akkor is. Kellemes, vigyázzatok a fafaragással, meg hasonlókkal. Egyetek sokat, aludjatok sokat, pihenjetek sokat. Sziasztok!